Hello, we're back on eryo5 Radio with Moss85, an interview with Moss85. We're just finishing up Pipe Down, talking about Pipe Down. I think we've all heard enough about Pipe Down now. But soon after Pipe Down...
Segments 2, 3, and 4.
That is... Pretty soon after that is when I left the band, I guess. But apparently I did some work on the Showdown recordings because I was in Michigan with you. And well, there's Venus, which I was a big part of, and all those other ones.
Voice of
Reason.
I'll wait for you, which we didn't actually end up recording in Michigan, but...
Yeah. I guess I still was in the band after Pipe Down.
KCE, which was
for a while. Yeah.
For a little while. So let's talk about this next album project, Showdown. Now, where did that name come from?
That was all Brian deciding that it sounded cool because it was like after Pipe Down.
It's supposed to be pre-Pipe Down. Somebody didn't like that.
Brian liked pre-Pipe Down. I think we all sort of settled on Showdown. Now, strangely enough, I have the same memory of us in the family room deciding on Showdown, so maybe I'm confusing the two.
Whoever the main guy was at the time, it was like the album was supposed to be the showdown between Nikki and that guy was another...
You make it sound terrible.
That was another one of the many layers of meaning behind that name.
But yeah, and it sounded good.
It was one of the... Not that it was...
I know.
Not that it was necessarily accurate. It was just kind of an idea, like this sounds like
well, I was
what the album
going
is about.
through a breakup at that point, too, so, so...
At which point?
Where we decided we were going to start working on Showdown. So, shortly after, or before the record release party.
Showdown. Was there a vision for this album?
Once again, no. I don't think so. I think it was now we wanted to
We wanted to mature a bit.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say mature.
Wanted to go for, instead of that post-poppy punk rock sound, we wanted to do like...
Over-polished pop music.
I don't know. I don't know.
That was the idea behind KCE.
With metronomes. And was there any voice auto-tuning, pitch correction?
In Michigan we tried it, but it sounded terrible.
Yeah, it sounded awful. Right.
So did we get started at Michigan? Was that like the idea? We were going to record this album at Michigan?
We were going to record
we're going to start
3 songs.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Start and then finish it on our own. But to have these 3 songs that would sound amazing.
So that was...
Those were probably the only songs that were written at the time.
And looking back, why would we do that? Because then when you'd take it home, none of the other songs would sound like those songs, so then it just wouldn't...
I mean, that's done. People are recording different parts of the album in different studios and stuff like that. But, yeah.
Not the same equipment.
I don't know if we specifically really were planning on... I don't know what we were planning on. We just wanted to record 3 songs in Michigan. Because we had 3 new songs and we just wanted to record them in Michigan and have them sound great.
We just wanted it to sound good. And
that's true.
And we were kind of going to take it from there.
We would take it from there.
Yeah.
What happens, happens. So we all drove. We took 2 cars. Just the 3 of us.
I have video footage of the entire thing.
It almost seems weird that it was just the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Excuse me? Brian, do you have video footage of that?
I do. I
don't have anything.
I don't have a VHS, but it's on VHS.
I have one right there.
Oh, fabulous.
Brand new.
So
you don't have a VHS.
I don't.
You and your iPhone world.
I just VHS. You put a tape on your phone. So I don't know. The 3 of us drove there. We took a minivan and a Paseo.
Yeah.
That Paseo has been around forever. I've got to get another car like that Paseo for $3,000. Or I could just rejuvenate the actual Paseo, which is sitting out there. So we drove there. We had amps.
We had walkie-talkies.
Drums. Oh, walkie-talkies. Nice.
Yes, we did have walkie-talkies.
Because I was lonely. I was all alone in that car.
Yeah, how did we decide? You wanted to go alone. You wanted to listen to a bunch of music. That was your thing. I want to go alone. I got a lot of music I want to listen to.
Studying to do.
That was actually a long drive, isn't it? It's 8 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a significant drive. We went there. I obviously knew Chuck, the owner and CEO of Riddle Audio, from high school. Brian is known as Little Rohr to Chuck, and that's the extent of their relationship. And Nikki probably knew Chuck because of me and Little Rohr here. And we went there. And where do we start? It started out just fine.
The 70 degree air was so much cooler and nicer than the 70 degree air here. It's the biggest thing I remember from the trip.
There were more trees and oxygen there. I kind of remember getting a Little Caesars pizza and maybe going to Hardee's. The food is always fun. Yeah. 3, 4. It's 6 o'clock. 5
Oh my
and
God.
6. And we set up our stuff. We recorded stuff. Once all the tracks were recorded, I remember, Brian kind of taking over that, sitting in the dark studio trying to make it all perfect, learning how to use Pro Tools. Nikki, did you do vocals there? I don't.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
a few. Mm-hmm.
We have recordings of them.
Mm-hmm.
I sent some to you
Recently?
like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
I was Venus.
We did Venus.
That was-
I did.
I didn't know what that Venus was. That was from Michigan?
Yeah.
It said somewhere the date that was written on the CD, like August something 2004 or whatever it was.
I remember something saying live. Well, that sounded pretty good for Michigan.
It wasn't live.
Something said live.
Said
Fix It Live?
Oh, that was another one. Fix It Live.
Yeah.
More late night in studio fake show Jamathon.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Was I there?
No.
Me,
Oh, okay.
me, her, and Brian.
We're talking about Michigan. I was there. I remember a couple of the inside jokes, such as spaghetti's ready.
Ready spaghetti.
That was on video, right? I thought that was your camera. Or
I didn't have a camera.
I guess you didn't.
Probably mine.
I remember you playing it for me. Maybe Brian always just borrowed your stuff.
Give me.
I remember.
The big dark studio room and way
The eye.
back there's like a light coming. And
Wait
it's
a
Chuck's
second.
dad.
That was in night vision.
Spaghetti's ready.
Oh yeah.
It was in night vision.
Ready spaghetti. Did Chuck say ready spaghetti? And then
think-
his father repeated
I
it?
think somehow we made light of the fact that it rhymed or whatever, and then he said back, "Ready spaghetti."
Ready spaghetti.
Something like that.
There, with Chuck and his father, with the age difference, and Chuck's father being Chuck being really goofy and hyper, and Chuck's father kind of talking like that.
Monotonal.
It would. I have
Always an interesting
videos of
dynamic.
the first time I visited. It was always, Chuck's dad would slowly walk in and start talking to Chuck about, how the truck is running or
the
something.
weather.
I got the strawberry plants. I put the cover over them. And Chuck's always like, God. And Chuck's dad just keeps talking, and I'm just standing there. Am I supposed to laugh because Chuck is being really goofy and his dad isn't responding at all?
Kind of rude.
Kind of rude.
Kind of like the Chris and his parents.
Yes. Although Chris was clearly being insulting to his parents. Chuck, I just didn't know what was going on. Aren't you being offended by this? He just kept talking. Anyway, same thing with Ready Spaghetti.
I have to find that now.
So you have that stuff.
I do. I have that stuff. Yes.
And what format would that be? Some sort of digital tape?
VHS. It's on VHS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it was on a computer somehow, I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't it have been?
I have to organize.
No, that was back in the day when you'd have the tape and you recorded it onto a VHS.
But I don't remember sticking in the VHS and rewinding that. I remember
Well, we had it
Could've-
was on a digital tape, but I borrowed that camera.
somehow I remember it being on a computer and playing it on the computer for people. But could be wrong.
And every morning, Brian and I got up bright and early, and we played. It was the first track on Insomniac. Dookie. Oh, okay.
Burn
Do you know I still can't listen? I cannot listen to that song now. Anyway, continue with your story.
I don't know if there's much of a story, but somehow, Brian, did we organize that we would play it at 9 a.m. sharp or something?
Yeah, whatever the time
You do
was.
realize that I was supposed to stay.
Didn't we?
I was
Sorry.
I was supposed to stay in that room with the balcony that was my room at the time.
Oh,
And
that
so-
was your room.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was
we knew
supposed
she was
to
in
be
there, I
my
think.
yes.
That we were waking. Didn't we tell you, or didn't you ask us to wake you up or make sure you
Yeah.
get up or something? So we decided
And
to play that song really
so
loud.
I had this giant balcony that leads into the studio.
Permission.
So you'd come into the studio and you would play that song, and I would wake up to it, and I swear it was the worst feeling ever because you'd be like it was not a good wake up. No, you're very on edge when you wake up like that. Cymbals going off and stuff.
It started real nice though. Real quiet.
I still can't listen to that song. It comes on my
where we start it
iTunes
later.
library. No, it comes on my library and I have to skip over it. I do.
Really? We ruined it for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Right. We accomplished something in that.
But you never seemed to get up in time. Did you get up? It seems like you never got up. We just played in
We just
vain.
finished.
No, I'd get up and I'd be like, oh, God, I don't want to get up. Because, you don't want to get up. And it was like, I was looking for a snooze button or
We
something.
assumed you were being detained somehow.
No.
No? So,
No.
all right. You're just a very lazy person.
Yes. Absolutely.
Anything else from that trip? I mean, there was the banging
Pro
on
Tools
the walls.
crashed.
A lot, didn't it?
I already hated Pro Tools, and that just cemented my
Hate.
Yeah.
lifetime enemyship.
Enemy ship?
Eneminess.
You swore it off forever. Yeah, there's a word. Whatever.
The opposite of friendship.
Yeah. Enemyhood.
Your rivalry? No.
After I did my parts, it just seems like it was you sitting in front of the big board and the computer doing all this stuff,
I remember.
and it wasn't working out well for you.
I must need to change a personality trait or something about myself, because I remember the same argument with Chuck about, like, can we try it this way? And Chuck's like, no, we're just going to do it this way. But I'm much more comfortable doing it this way. I know this will work. Can we just try it? And he's like, no, we're just not going to do it. And I had that same exact thing happen with, and I feel like I'm being pretty agreeable, and I'm not forcing anything. I'm saying, can we try this? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But I had that same kind of, interactions with the guy who recorded the Hiroso album. And it's just like, can we just try it this way? It's like, no, that's not how it's done. We're not going to do that.
Once they're college educated, they feel like they know
both
how
those
to do
guys
it.
were. And like with Chuck, I thought it was something like the type of delay I wanted. I don't remember what song. Oh yeah, it was. I think it was the end of the Voice of Reason with and the kind of left and right thing, and like I think it was either because they were, it was like a delay, and it was either I would play it here and then I'd play it over here a little bit later, or we would just digitally do the delay, and whichever one I wanted, Chuck just would have none of it. I might be remembering it more, not, thinking that Chuck was in the wrong about it more than he really was. I don't remember what happened, but I remember some arguments with Chuck over not getting my way about something.
And then once we came back, Chuck had, like the master files or whatever, and it just seemed like months and months went by, nothing really happened with it. And then we got
happening now.
And then we got that's what's happening now with
Hiroso.
Hiroso.
Only much more magnified. It's been almost a year now. We got basically nothing. It's really close. Never mind.
But we got some rough mixes, which were like the drums were really, really echoey, and it sounded all kind of weird. I don't know. And to this day, what was it that you sent me that sounded good? That was from Michigan?
Let's see.
You didn't explain what it was.
A bounce. Oh, the
Venus.
I know what song.
I don't think I said Michigan on it, but it had the date,
Yeah.
and it was clearly
August. of-
Michigan. I thought.
Yeah, mine's saved like that too. It has the date right on the top. It's real weird.
So I thought it was obvious.
Oh,
Or
so
at least-
how
or at
did that
least
one
you
get
could
made?
kind of finish it. No, Nikki stayed later after we left or something, right? Or yeah.
Oh,
And then
okay.
she recorded vocals, and then he started sending us some stuff. And I have like two versions of either. I think I just have one of Voice of Reason and two versions of Venus.
I remember you staying later, but I couldn't remember how that would make any sense. But we had two cars, and we just left first. Interesting. So you stayed later and did vocals and mixed some stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, now I really want to hear that again. Maybe we'll do that. Station to Venus.
That'll be the 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. hour. We do all that.
So at some point, I guess I left the band to work on my personal music endeavors, which was what I always wanted to do. I was in Moss 85 to help Moss 85, and it was an enjoyable time. But I wanted to do eryo5 music. That was my real project, and I don't know when I left exactly, but I finished that album in December 2004. Tried to make something happen with it, not like I really tried, but I made a MySpace, and I finished the album, which I'm proud of, and that was pretty much that. And then I started recording a second album after that, and never finished it, sort of like Moss 85 did. So I don't know, I guess not much to tell there, but I guess, I didn't really have a plan to be in Moss 85 forever. But did that destroy the band? You had other stuff going on after that, after I left.
We built it back up again. Well, we just kind of started writing. So was it just the two of us for a long time? And I made all these instrumentals, a lot of instrumentals, and some of them you put words to. The ones that met your approval.
I think, though, you leaving really was just... You agree, right? That was, kind of difficult. Yeah? That was very...
It's never the same.
What?
It was never the same.
Right, exactly. It wasn't the same, and it just made things... It magnified the problems. It just made me feel like it wasn't the same band, and no matter how many times we brought somebody else in, it just wasn't the same.
Even when it was the three of us, I remember us always saying we kind of needed a bassist, but who could possibly be in addition to this wonderful trio? And I don't know what's so special about us. But
Exactly.
Was Brian Rafferty? You said something about Joe Vataco?
Yeah, but he only did a few shows with us. Just a few.
He wasn't supposed to be a member of the band.
Right.
Was Brian Rafferty a member of the band when I was there?
Yeah. Well, not when you were there.
No,
he was out of our lives because of the falling out.
Yes.
The falling out.
And then that whole singularity thing came around, and then you're like, oh, I'm working with Brian Rafferty again, and then it was more of a Brian Rafferty again? How did he come into our lives again? And so then we're like, well, he plays bass. Teach him the songs.
I remember thinking Brian Rafferty could actually be an addition to the band, the three of us. But no.
I don't remember that ever being brought up or thought about. That was so close to
I don't know anything about the falling out, but
whatever the problems were.
Yeah.
But he's always been a friend of yours and stuff.
Except for, we didn't see each other until whenever that was. I think it was a Sickening and Stereo show, the Elk Grove Teen Center, in late 2005 or something like that.
So it went 4 years without you speaking to him.
Well, it was...
Oh, really? But still,
maybe 2002, I guess.
You seem to get along pretty well.
Yeah, so
there must be something special about him.
It's probably 3 years, 3 years.
He's not that intimidating.
He's a nice guy. He's a good guy, that Brian Rafferty.
He's all charm.
And, yep. First, someone who dresses so stylishly with small corduroy jackets, you wouldn't expect him to be so humble.
Yeah. Okay.
Nick, you want to say something?
No, I don't. It's all good.
Yeah.
He's gonna be seeing this.
I just said Brian Rafferty is a great guy, a nice guy. You agree, right?
Oh, you went from great down to just nice.
Okay.
So, yeah. So then he joined, and then we were without a drummer.
Was that before Nate? I don't remember how Nate came into our lives. Somebody knew Nate. Did you know Nate?
Yes, I knew Nate. And actually, I knew Nate for a while and wasn't aware that he played drums until he busted out his drum set one day, and I'm like, you play drums? That's kind of cool. You should try to play drums for us. Because, at that point, you're, desperate. I mean,
He might be watching this, too.
If he's watching, he knows. Anyway. So it was like, you're cool, you should drum. So he ended up drumming for us for one show, and then he made that whole MySpace page for us.
You played a show with us, before we started recording anything?
Yeah, in December.
Well, that was after we recorded everything.
Probably.
That was the end. That was the farewell.
Yeah, well, he played that show with us.
He came on to play on the album and all that. That was the focal point at the time, because we had a bunch of songs. We had a catalog.
That's right.
Still didn't get to our magic number of 12, but,
What were we at?
10. We had 10. We have them all. I have them all on my phone.
For Showdown?
For Showdown. We had our 10-song album.
And
wow.
You recorded Showdown. Once Michigan may or may not have worked out, you took on the recording. You were experienced from Pipe Down and other things. And kind of a similar way that Pipe Down was recorded. You had like a 24 track or whatever. Oh yeah,
that was
same
all the
room.
Tascam. 24 track.
Pretty
No
much the
auto-tune.
same kind of stuff going
Same
on
thing.
there. Mics and all that.
Used all of your equipment other than the Tascam.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
You told me how to do everything.
And I came over and I guess recorded the same songs that I did in Michigan, like for you
Plus
in my old
KCE.
bedroom. Plus KCE.
I don't know why we chose that one.
Now, what does KCE stand for?
Kelly Clarkson-esque.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it just sounded like something.
I'm guessing I came up with the instrumental first, and that was the goal. Let's make a Kelly Clarkson-esque song. That was very formulaic, and it turned out awesome. But it had the cool chords and stuff,
Yeah.
the major and then the minor, and your melody plays into that. It was all really good.
Yeah.
The cacophony of auxiliary percussion stuff in the bridge. The the cabasas and the shakers and the tambourines and the claves and the... getting something. Whatever else.
Cowbell. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, so you're
Sleigh
saying
sleigh bells, maybe?
you had 10 songs, and they're all recorded, and there are some kind of vocals on all of them?
Most of them.
It seems like with Pipe Down, we got all the...
Pipe Downs, or Showdown so far. That's what I
Showdown so
made.
far.
And I mastered, tried to make them sound all good and everything. With a lot of them have just kind of scratch vocals.
Yeah, Pipe Down, we kind of got every vocal and every guitar how we wanted it, and it was kind of agreed on, and that's the official album. Showdown, from what I understand, maybe you pieced it all together. And overall, it might sound better than Pipe Down. But
the instrumentals were pretty much all complete. Pistols and Pedals still had lots of effects and stuff that never quite got done because I didn't have the BR1180 anymore and my laptop where I did some of that reversey stuff. So some of the effects I couldn't figure out how to repeat. But there were like 4 or maybe 5 songs that have completely finished vocals and everything is completely polished and finished. And then like 3 other songs with scratch vocals and pretty much completely finished instrumentals, and then the others that are just instrumentals.
are we going to finish those last 3 today?
Today.
Should have presented the Tascam to Nikki. Now's your chance.
Ever? Maybe not.
I knew that question was going to come up. Sooner or later, that question had to come up.
What was my date?
That's it.
Yeah, didn't you have I heard all about this, so... I think the deadline's due.
Coming up.
No, it's due. It's done.
Probably 2012 or something.
Oh, good.
Really?
I could have sworn it was like...
Maybe
What
it was
about the
11.
date? What
Yes,
was
go
this
ahead.
date?
Go ahead. Explain your...
I don't remember how much of it was in jest or what. But it was the date. Nikki has until June 16th, 2012 or whatever. I don't know.
No, it was like 2010 or something.
Well, it was 5
ridiculous.
years. It was 5 years from when
Okay,
maybe
so-
it was 2000. I want to say it was 2007 because that would have been like several months removed from the whole thing. So it's kind of clear you're not coming back. And then 5 years from then would be 2012. You got time. Don't worry.
Well, I think we've moved on to bigger and better things, right? Apparently, you've got your other band and
Maybe
stuff.
some of us.
Well, I'm saying you have your other band, and it's all working out for you. So.
Brian's setting a date right now for his band.
I'm kind of impressed that there were so many that were.
This is not done by 2024. I'm going to be so mad.
I was gonna say I'm really impressed by that we have 10 almost finished tracks. Like that's so. I don't know.
They were finished songs. You know, like they were songs.
Like that, I didn't realize it was so many. Like.
Do you want the list? Have you forgotten all about them?
No, I know. I'm pretty sure I remember now thinking about it because
there was a
the
demo
late night sessions and stuff. Like I remember.
There was a demo that we never could figure out how to arrange it. The butterfly one.
Oh yeah.
3. Oh, yeah, that was the one that was.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be about somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm impressed that we got so far, and then I could see why you were a little peeved that it didn't get done. So.
It was my baby.
My apologies to you, sir. So.
Well, we'll get into that later. But is there
Save
video?
Your sorries for segment 6.
Okay.
Is there video footage of this?
Probably, but I need your camera to go through it.
Okay. So you need to borrow my camera, really?
As long as it won't eat up the tapes.
No, it won't, I don't think, because, I went through all my tapes this summer, recorded them to the computer. Worked just fine.
So we shall see.
Yep. And
I know there's footage of Bellicose.
No. Oh, I almost did it.
You have to project it more, and then it'll come out. You just go. That's not going to happen.
with these mics, you barely have to say anything, and she doesn't want to have to speak real loud. Does that make sense? You get used to talking real quiet, and everyone can hear you great. It doesn't come naturally to just burst out of.
I know. I was gonna say. Is that so?
So there was a lot of stuff. There's like a 4-piece orchestra that you hired for this album.
Our string quartet.
Yeah.
It was like 2 people. Or maybe it was just 3 because one of them wasn't good enough.
Stuff
And
was
so the
recorded.
other guy, the best violinist, played the other violin part, and
Stuff was recorded.
still turned out kind of
By
sloppy.
there were probably lots of guest artists for this one. Did you document all the guest artists and stuff?
Well, there's
All the places you recorded, all the instruments you used.
we never
at that
had
church?
we never finished it, so there was never a
Well, you have to
CD
make
booklet
notes.
or anything, and I mean notes just can get lost. I'm sure I know I still have notebooks and things with all of my EQ settings for each song and that kind of thing. But we had our string quartet. I didn't really know any of the people in it.
That presents a problem if you're ever going to use that track.
I know John Bobby, John Robert Matz.
Mm-hmm.
He was the other harper trumpet player. He was known as that. I don't really talk to him anymore, but I'm sure I could track him down. And I think he knew the people more. And then there was Eric. And I think that was it.
Me?
Drumming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we had a whole slew of guests or anything.
No, but looking back, you'd have to include everybody that was, So you got Nate and Brian and
Well, they were the band.
yeah, but I don't know.
They were a given.
You went to the church to record things.
You could hear the cars going by at the beginning and the end. Adds to the effect.
So that album starts. Do you have the track order all set? You know how that goes? Whoa. Is that how it starts?
Starts with little sliding and all the big echo of the room, and then from the organ.
That's so
remember.
neat. That's one of those sounds that it's special. Yeah. Artwork? Was there ever any artwork or thoughts about artwork?
There were probably thoughts. I don't remember them. I remember having thoughts. I don't know if it was... Or I remember you wanted to do something with rainbows or lots of colors or something kind of like the Pipe Down, but somehow colors.
I
A
don't
lot of
remember.
colors, I think, but I don't remember.
Ooh. Like checkers, but with colors.
Something like that.
Reversed.
The inverted.
That would be scary.
Ooh.
The cow. Ooh, the inverted cow. That would be scary.
That'd be great.
With some glowing red eyes on him.
What are you going
Those
for?
horror makeup. Smoke coming out of the horns.
I'd rather have smoke come out of his nostrils, actually. Might get the
Going
effect.
more for like a devilish kind of a thing.
Well, we're pretty much... Well, we'll have to... I guess that's pretty much all there is about Showdown. Maybe we'll wrap it up in the next segment, but it just sort of fizzled out from there, I guess. But we will pick it up in segment 5. Pick it up in the next segment.